How you doing? This is Christian Westhorpe here with Glidecoat, and today we're going to be going over the RV ceramic coating top coating kit. Today we've got a pretty old 2012 RV fifth wheel that, as you can see, is very oxidized and seen some better days. We've got a lot of faded, chalky oxidization, a lot of streaks. So what we're going to do is go through the steps of the top coating kit for the RV and do all the steps through to show you guys how to do it, and then we're going to show you the end result and bring this baby back to life. This is going to be the perfect product to deal with some of the heavy staining and mold that we have on the surface here. As you can see, just a lot of dirt, a lot of streaks running down, black streaks and mold, and just a lot of staining just from this sitting here on a dirt road and not getting cleaned very often. So this is the product for that. It's going to remove all this heavy stuff. So we're going to do this as we're washing at the beginning of the process. Just spray directly on the surface. Going to come in with the brush, and we just want to kind of agitate it a little bit with our soap and water. As you can see here, it's already starting to kind of eat away at the stains that are on the surface. So this stuff is definitely our most aggressive cleaner, and it is just going to take away all of that. This is something that we're going to do at the beginning before we do any of the prep, but this is not a product that we want to use after we've already applied this ceramic. As you can see there, it did a great job at removing all of that staining and that mold. And now we're ready to begin our buffing. All right, so we've already washed the entire RV. Now we've got all of the surface contamination, all the dirt, the streaking off of it, and now we're going to go ahead and start our buffing process. Now, because this RV is heavily oxidized, we actually got a 2 on the gloss meter, which is obviously 0 is as low as we can go, so this thing is pretty beat up. So because of that, we're going to use our heavy cut compound. I've got my rotary buffer and a wool pad. We're going to start with that to get the heavy oxidization off, and that will allow us to start cleaning up the surface a little bit so we can get that shine back. So we just finished our first step of the heavy cut compound, and as you can see here, there's a pretty good difference of what we haven't done to what we've done. This step here is mainly for surfaces that are severely oxidized, and as you can see, it's starting to bring back some of that shine that we're looking for and take away that heavy oxidization. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to follow it up with a foam pad and our medium compound. All right, now that we've done our heavy cut compound stage, we're now moving to nano compound, which is our medium compound. A little less abrasion to it, not as much cut, but what this is gonna do is help bring more shine and then take out any swirl marks that might have been left behind from using our rotary buffer. And I've now moved to a maroon medium cut pad and our dual action polisher. Alright, so as you can see, we're now bringing even more shine out of the surface, taking out those swirl marks that we might have got from that heavier compound, and we're starting to make our way through the top coating process. Now that we've done our heavy compound and our medium compound, you can see we've brought a lot of shine back to the surface that was previously really dull. Now we're going to follow it with our nano polish and our yellow polishing pad. What this step is going to do is it's going to bring a little extra shine out of the surface, but mainly it's going to smooth it out and take any light swirls or scratches off the surface before we go ahead and seal it with the coating. Final step right before we do the coating application is surface wipe. This is an alcohol-based product, and what this is going to do is remove any residual compound or polish that's on the surface, cleaning it so that we're able to have the coating adhere to the surface and fill in all those pores by removing any of that residue left over from the buffing step. So I just put it directly on the microfiber here, wipe it across my section. And we're going to be doing this entire cap here, so I'll go ahead and clean this entire area with surface wipe before we do the coating. I like to use a second microfiber just to wipe away any residue of the surface wipe, just so that we're not left with any sort of haze or anything like that that the alcohol can leave behind. So now that we've done that, we've got a perfectly clean surface that's ready to be applied. Alright, so now we're going to be applying the RV ceramic coating. We've just wiped the area with surface wipe to remove any residue from the polishing and buffing and compounding steps. So as you can see, I'm applying it onto the black sponge portion of the applicator. Put about a quarter size amount on directly onto the sponge. And I'm going to work in a 3 foot by 3 foot section at a time. I'm going to go up and down, and then side to side. Want to make sure that I've got that area fully covered. And you can see that it's very lightly on the surface. So you can see it's fully covered there. And then I go right away with the microfiber and buff it off. And I'm applying a little pressure on this step here, and I'm feeling like I'm almost working the coating into the pores of the surface. And then I like to just flip it around and continue to wipe. And what I'm doing here is making sure that I'm getting any excess coating that's left on the surface and getting that uniform finish. And what we want to do is we're going to do one coat across all the areas that we're applying to, allow at least an hour between the first coat and then the second coat. We always want to apply at least 2 coats to the surface. Alright, so after you've applied your RV ceramic top coating, ceramic coating, what you want to do is use RV Shine and Shield. Is the perfect maintenance product. So after you've done the application, this product is meant to be used as an ongoing maintenance, something that you can use as frequently as you'd like, every month or 2 months. We recommend at least every 3 to 4 months as a top coating to your ceramic coating. And what you do is simply spray it directly on the surface here. Again, we're working in smaller sections, 3 foot by 3 foot sections, similar to as we're applying the coating. And use a microfiber and simply buff it off. This is a very simple and easy application, something that you want to do, like I said, every 3 to 4 months after you've applied the top coating. And what this does is just kind of gives a further enhance to the shine, a little more gloss, make sure that the surface is extremely hydrophobic, but it also adds a sacrificial layer on top of the ceramic coating to help you get the most you can out of your RV ceramic coating. And now, after all of those steps, that was a lot of work, but we got ourselves a 102 on the gloss meter, which is an incredible jump from where we were when we started, from 2 to 102, and now we've brought some life back to this 2012